Hey guys, it's Victor Costa. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Someone asked me if I wouldn't mind going over the negatives, if you will. What are negatives when you're working out? They didn't understand the terminology, so let's go over it. The negative is really the part of the exercise when you bring the weights down. Let's think of it in those simple terms. If you want to sound like an expert, it would be also called the eccentric part of the movement. There's two parts of a movement, really. There's the concentric part, which is the contraction, that's the shortening of the muscles. And then there's the eccentric part of the movement, the lengthening of the muscles. Think of it as bringing the weights down, or the expansion part of the exercise. We typically equate the concentric part with the contraction, shortening the muscles, and exhaling. And we think of the expansion, or the eccentric part of the movement, lengthening the muscles, and the inhale, right? That's how it works. So we go like this, just like that. And that's what the negatives mean. It means the eccentric part of the movement. It means bringing the weights down, or bringing them to their resting position. So let's talk a little bit about how to make the most of the negatives, or the eccentric part of the movement, because it really is a valuable part of the movement. I often think that sometimes people miss the best part of the exercise, and that's because they're not present. They're just trying to get it over with. They're just trying to count to 10 and put the weights down. But invest yourself into the experience of bodybuilding and training, and each repetition becomes much more valuable. So you don't want to dismiss any part of it. So let's talk about the value of the eccentric part of the movement. Some studies have actually shown that you actually create more muscle damage or trauma on the eccentric part of the movement, because you can typically hold more weight down than you can bring the weights up. So there was even a study done, and you can reference these studies. There's not a lot of them, and some of them haven't necessarily shown a very discernible difference. But in one particular case, I believe the study was done in Rome, on bench pressers. And the bench pressers were told to bring the weights down slowly. And after a period of time, they were able to bench press 10% more on their personal bests. So it doesn't surprise me, really, because whenever you're working out, you're putting the body under stress. If you're putting the body under twice as much stress, because now you're paying more attention to a part of the movement that you weren't, wouldn't it make sense that you're now developing more muscles or developing more strength? So I actually am a proponent of the eccentric part of the movement. I think it keeps me not only stress on the muscle throughout the entire exercise, but it keeps me in an awareness of my body. It keeps me thinking about how the body moves and how the body works. And it keeps a constant connection with the muscle throughout the exercise, instead of connection, fail, reconnect, fail, reconnect, fail. I like to keep this dialogue with my body throughout the workout. So let's talk a little bit about how you do an eccentric part of the movement, or the negative, the right way. So I'm going to grab a dumbbell. Be right back. So I've got my dumbbell here. It's not very heavy, but it's going to be enough for demonstration purposes. So when I bring the weights down and I do my eccentric part of the movement, I don't hold them as tight as I can in one fixed position where I can get the most leverage and really just hold it there as long as I possibly can. I don't want that to happen. I want to bring that negative down, or bring that eccentric part of the movement, and I want to fight against the dumbbell in this case as I'm bringing it down. Not trying to hold it up, I'm trying to bring a contraction up while I'm allowing the weight to go down. I hope that makes some sense. There's a big difference between sort of fighting this to stay up, or working against it as you're allowing the gravity to pull you down. So that's the way that you do the negative movement. You're pushing the hand up, think of the hand coming up, if you will, as the weights are coming down, and allowing some sense of movement and a reconnection on the way up. Okay? So you allow it to get into a different position, and then you reconnect with the mind to allow the muscle to fight on its way up, and allow that to happen in sort of micro increments all the way down, as compared to I do my contraction and then fight to hold, and then eventually get exhausted and let it drop. It's not how you do it at all. I'm aware of my contraction, and now I'm aware of the eccentric part of the movement. Again, keeping a connection with the bicep throughout this part of the movement, allowing the hand to push up through the dumbbell as I'm allowing the dumbbell to change position, and I'm allowing I'm allowing myself to argue with the gravity, if you will. And I think that, I've never said that before, but I think it's a good way to think of it. So I hope that makes some sense, guys. I wish you guys all the best. Try your negatives, and I'll come back with another video real soon. Take care. Peace, love, and muscles. Bye.